Alright, looks like our shuttle is back, and that means we can choose a new milestone. What have we got? So we just did nuclear power. That gave us the magnetic field generator as well as electromagnetic control rod. So the next thing we're probably going to need is this, I would assume. Cooling system. We've got leading edge production. There we go. Thermal propulsion rockets, the next phase part. Okay. We also get Miner Mark III, which is nice. And then particle enrichment gives us the nuclear pasta, which is the last one. Copper powder, ground up copper ingots. Huh? Okay. Interesting. Need the particle accelerator for... Okay. Well, I think it's more important that I continue with this before I worry about catching up previous tiers. So let's just go for the advanced aluminium production now, I think. So I actually have some of these on me already, so that's nice. And I almost have enough aluminium casing. And I almost have enough of that. And then it's just wire. Okay, so we could practically just ship this. Didn't we have some extra aluminium in here? 19. Is that enough? I didn't actually pay attention to how much I needed. Oh, one more. Okay, fine. Let's just have a stack on us, shall we? Now, I don't have any of the other things on us, though. The sheets. I can't even remember if we're producing that. Because that's the thing I needed copper for. And I can't remember if I ended up running copper to get to it. Well, we need some wire. We need about 6,000 of this. So, no, 3,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of that. Get 3,000. Bam. Okay, and then we just need 11 other stuff. 11 of the sheets. Well, let's go check that out. Actually, just check out our map. We did not tap this copper. Because that's what I was going to do, is I was going to tap that copper to go over here for making the aluminium sheets. I have not done that, therefore this is probably ground to a halt. Alright. Do I have plenty of steel beams in storage? I do. That means I can make lots of conveyor belts if I need to. I should put more cable in storage too, actually. Since I actually have some cable available at the moment, let's do that. Let's queue up those. Just realized I'd be muted the entire time. Okay. I'm really not onto it today, it turns out. Dear, we can just chuck in some, like, background music or something as we're messing about. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I do, I'm just bloody tired. More than anything. Okay, so... from here, we then do that, but we do it at this sort of... Oh, it's too long? It can't get... For crying out loud. Damn it. Well, maybe we can move the support thing back a little bit, because that's not a very long section there. So let's just redo this again. It's dark, of course. What was flashlight? B. There we go. And so I can see a little bit of what I'm doing. Okay, so conveyor pole. Let's actually bring that back to like here instead. And then we do that one to the top. Like that. And then this to there. There we go. Gonna have so much silica on me. Do the top first, there. Then the bottom. There. I can see the container that I'm going towards. So I have no idea when I muted this time. I think it was because I needed to cough, right? So I don't know how much got missed out. Oh dear. But we're building a copper train to go alongside our silica line. Again, conveyor's too long. It seems I did this at full extension pretty much. I didn't realize at the time that I'd be wanting to redo anything. So, okay, let's just do the bottom one first this time. There we go. And then the top one. There we go. Deconstruct these. Make sure this is pulled back a little bit from where that one is, just in case it was made to its fullest extent. Go up there and across here. Right, so there's the container. Is that the copper container? I think that's the copper container. You can't quite reach. Okay, we'll do one more bit. We'll go up to this point here. Oops, wrong one. Do that there. Could also just move the container, but you know. There. We don't need the silica going up so damn high, I don't think, to be honest. Let's bring this down a little bit. It can just come across here, just not even raised up, to be honest. I think it needs to. It's not going to clip on anything, I don't think. No. So that's all good. And then you can just run straight into the back there. Okay, we now have copper coming in. Good. And it's now coming out slowly, but I don't think it needs to be fast. So you use it at a rate of 10 per minute, and that's it. Wow, okay. And it's just because this is backed up and that is backed up. Okay. I almost wonder if we need to have an awesome sink over here as well, quite frankly. The idea being that we should just have a splitter. So half of everything always goes into the sink. Have you go up here. Have a splitter on the top, then have your container, which can be a big container. Okay, and then just go down into that. Alright, over here, we're gonna have an awesome sink. You only use 30 power, which isn't too bad. So it's the only method of waste disposal we have. And then I guess you can do pretty much the same thing. Or we just put a normal splitter in line here. So let's put splitter in line here. Maybe we want to have it on a slight angle from everything. Let's see if that works. How many do you produce? 60 per minute. Okay, yep. So why not? We'll just do that anyway. There we go. How is that too steep? Stupid thing. Okay, we're gonna have to get rid of those, I think. That's fine. I mean, we can move the container. Just make an industrial container, take out everything that we can. Okay, we did have a bunch of the sheets at least, so that's good. And then we just deconstruct these. And then make another one, because I don't want to keep that one where it is. I just want to move this slightly along there. And then you can go there. And then you can just have... Oh, we need to have like a... maybe we need to reorient this slightly. Because I think we want to have then a merger in here. So we can go from there to there, and from there to here. And then have another like container in case I want to get rid of anything else that then feeds into the sink, and have the sink further up there perhaps, just in case. So we can go there, and then we can have that be okay. Never mind, I guess that's not the right angle at all. Ah, okay, that's quite sunk down actually. Alright, well at this point we want to go off like that. And have another container off here. This is all very convoluted for something that doesn't particularly matter. There. We want that to be as fast as possible once it merges. So we're a maximum of 60 and 60, which is plenty for what it produces. Okay. We should also be filling this up with everything that it previously had. Okay, we'll keep the rest on us, that's fine. But it'll only fill up at a rate of 30 per minute, because we're ditching half of it. But now we can just ditch, like, this excess scrap can go in here. Oh, we didn't actually make the sink. Make the awesome sink again. We can actually make a conveyor belt Mark 4. And have it just go zoom into there. We need power. Power line, there's the distribution point, up to here. And in we go, and we can print some coupons later. I don't like getting rid of things, but given that this is just like a little self-contained area, I think that's probably the best way to stop things from just backing up and causing issues. Right, now we want to go back to base. We have untangled all of this again for now. We're going to run out of power again, but we can just run along here. Also, I did not need to make this a Mark III. I could have made this a Mark I. And just used iron plates instead of steel beams, but whatever. Just looks funny because there's so little coming across. And I mean, it only uses 10 by the sounds of things. So it's barely worth the effort, really, doing all of this. We could also... That's actually a good point. At least we run faster going with this. I think it's a good point that we can actually creatively under and overclock things to keep the equilibrium on aluminium production, but bias it towards the sheets instead of the casings. Because at the moment we are producing, so we're using 90 per minute to make 60 per minute. And we're using 30 per minute to make 30 per minute. Let's bump this up at least once, so we're making 45. And then here, we can actually drop this down to 75%, or even 50% actually, and just make 30 per minute, and use 45 per minute. 45 and 45 is 90. How much are we producing? 120, okay. So... I didn't do my maths quite properly. Well, we can make this use 60. And we can make this use 60, right? Maybe. If it's 45 to 30, to have that be 60, we want to be producing... Oh God, how... Maths 40, right? Yeah, okay, 60 to 40. There we go, 64. So 60, 60, we make 40 and 60. Good, which means that we're going to end up with more sheets being produced now. Now we can go back to what we were doing. Zoom. Like, I only need the boosts when I'm going uphill, but they kick into effect when I'm going downhill too. I end up almost over at my mam. It's crazy. Or hub, rather. Alright, we now have that. Advanced aluminium production. Oh. Why did that sound so much more powerful?
Milestone reached. The resource well pressurizer and extractor can harvest nitrogen, crude oil, and water from underground wells. Nitrogen, being a gas, does not need pumps for pipeline transportation. Fixit
Needs to be pressurized, presumably.
Metrics, but I do. According to Fixit predictions, you are exploiting this planet with unexpected efficiency.
I doubt that.
They always struggle to see the true potential of things. Nothing about you is unexpected to me, and therefore you are performing exactly as expected.
Whatever, I did that. Don't get her remarks. At some point I just want to clear some of these tech trees, but I don't really care too much at the moment. Okay. Well, we can choose a new milestone, we just can't populate it yet. That's fine, because we're not making these yet. Fused modular frame. Produced in a blender. What? Huh? Okay. Oh, you need... something. Is that aluminium or nitrogen? Open and codex, sure. I don't usually use that. That's nitrogen. Okay. Right. Casings, heavy modular frames, and nitrogen to make a fused modular frame. Nitrite hardened. That sounds so strange to me, but whatever. Okay. Used in uranium fuel rods. Wonderful. And also the magnetic field generator, which I do need. Okay. Well, that's the next one I need to do anyway. Supercomputers will be the other thing to check. Since you've been Somas looped, well, you've got more than 50 again, which is nice. So that's a good start. Well, we're at a useful point. You are still, for now, producing things, but you've now run down on heavy modular frame. Interesting you've run out of that before automated wiring. Maybe I didn't calculate... Oh, you were just churning that out. Okay, never mind. I thought I was tuning things based on this. I was not. I was just letting it go to town. Okay. So... it's a case of, did I tune based on anything else, or am I just going to end up with an amount of stuff in here? We're at 400. We need 500. We're producing 2 right now. 42 times 2 is 84. 84, that's actually perfect. We did tune it based on the amount of heavy modular frames we put in, which makes sense because that's the 1 per minute, so that's the easiest maths to do. Good. So that means that that will complete as expected. And then we just need to worry about... well, we want to Somas loop this again. Well, okay, so I guess we're not doing this. Sorry, we put you back in there. But we select the... here is it, magnetic field generator instead, isn't it? No, director system. And we use supercomputers. It's a 2 to 1, so we're going to need 250 supercomputers. Ouch. So we're going to need 250. We have our first 50. And then we're just going to need 200 more, and that's how we'll kind of... well, we don't need to tune it based on that, because we've only made 500 of the others. We'll probably need more in future. That seems to be the thing that becomes evident after a while is that you think, oh, I'm done with that, great. No, you're never done with it. And we don't need to worry about overclocking, really. We just want that to tick away. It's going to take us so long to do everything else that it's not going to matter too much. Wasn't here for a long time, neither was I. I was away for like 3 weeks. And I didn't stream the week before I went away, so I've been away for like a month. We are now making our first part, which is a good start. And we at least know how to make the next one, and then we've just got to go from there. And eventually, we'll chip away at phase 4. You can rarely do things in parallel, it seems. You pretty much always end up doing things one at a time. I'm not sure what the best vantage point is. But again, I guess it's watching our drone coming and going, probably. It's kind of the most interesting part of our operation at the moment. So let's just hover around here and can watch our drone come and go, because I need to take a short break. Actually, it'll probably be quite a long break, so enjoy the show. I do realise I've actually got too much to do this afternoon, so coming back to this, I won't be able to do much more. So we're just going to call it. We're just going to end stream. We've made some progress. We've got one of them building, which is a good start. Yeah, we could technically just leave it running, but that's not very interesting. We'll come back later and start to work on our uranium production and things like that. But for now, that will do. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.